Genesis 23 ain't flashy. No miracles flying out the sky, no angels showing up, no seas splitting. But don't you dare skip this chapter, because this is where real faith shows up in real life. This chapter starts with a loss. Sarah dies. The woman who laughed at God's promise. The woman who carried the impossible. The woman who walked with Abraham through fame, fear, burdenness, and blessing. She dies. And Abraham weeps. The Bible doesn't rush past it. It doesn't minimize it. It doesn't tell him to be strong. It says Abraham mourned and wept. Let me help somebody. Faith doesn't cancel grief. You can love God and still cry. You can trust God and still hurt. You can believe and still bury. Abraham's the father of faith, but even he had to sit in sorrow. Then Abraham gets up and he does something powerful. He goes to the Hittite and says, I am a foreigner and a stranger among you. Give me a burial place. Did you catch that? God promised him the land, but he doesn't own even 1 square foot yet. After decades of walking with God, after promises, after miracles, all he owns is a tent and a grieving heart. But here's what makes this chapter deep. Abraham doesn't beg. He doesn't demand. He doesn't manipulate. He walks in dignity. The people say, you're a mighty prince among us. Listen, your character will speak for you even when your season looks broke. Now, here comes the navigation. They offer him free land, but Abraham refuses. Why? Because real faith doesn't take shortcuts. He insists on paying full price for the cave. Why is that important? Because Abraham understood something. If God promised it, it's not charity, it's inheritance. He wasn't trying to look rich. He was making a statement. The land is mine, not because of you, but because of God. Sometimes faith has to pay before it possesses. Then he buys the cave. And the land God promised him. The first thing he owns is a cave. Let that sink in. Not a house, not a vineyard, not a palace, a grave. Why? Because faith doesn't always look like winning. Sometimes faith looks like playing hope in the middle of a loss. He buries Sarah in the land of promise. Translation, I still believe God even though I just lost something precious. This chapter teaches us something heavy. Abraham never saw the full promise fulfilled, but he still acted like it was real. Faith is not about what you see, it's about what you settle in your spirit. He bought land he would never live on. He buried his wife in a place he wouldn't possess in his lifetime. Why? Because faith thinks about generations to come. Some of you are trying to see everything happen right now, because God is saying your obedience is building for people you'll never meet. Let me bring this home. Genesis 23 teaches us, faith grieves, faith pays full price, faith walks with dignity, faith burials but still believes, faith doesn't quit when life hurts. Abraham could have said, what's the point? My wife is gone, I'm old, I don't own anything. But instead he made a move. And faith always is a move. Some of you are in Genesis 23 right now. You lost something, you buried dreams, you're tired, you're disappointed, and you're still waiting on God's promises. But God told me to tell you, just because you're burying doesn't mean you're defeated. Just because you're grieving doesn't mean God is done. Just because it hurts doesn't mean it's over. Your cave